Today on Animal Outtakes,
we have lots of alligators here.
Lots of alligators indeed. We're learning all about these creatures that have been around for millions of years.
That's very prehistoric, isn't it?
And finding out what makes them so fascinating.
So I think they just fascinate people.
They're just fascinating.
Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. I'm your host, Marcia Panucci. One of Florida's most iconic animals is the alligator, but these reptiles haven't always been as prominent as they are now. Today, we'll explore the habitat of the alligator and learn more about these interesting creatures. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started.
It's a gorgeous day to be out on the lake, deep in the heart of the Myakka River State Park in Sarasota, Florida. And today, we're looking for alligators.
The record in Florida for alligator size is 18 feet 2 inches and 1,045 pounds.
Airboat tour guide Dick Friedland has been thrilling tourists for years with his narrated sightseeing tours of Upper Myakka Lake, a prime viewing location for these prehistoric creatures.
Dick, we're spending a beautiful day here at the Myakka State Park with you, the captain of the boat. What are we going to see this morning?
Well, hopefully we'll see some alligators. That's what people come for. But we'll also this morning we'll also see some water hyacinth flowers, or beautiful lavender flowers we don't always see. And earlier this morning we saw a limpkin, which is a pretty rare bird, and several roseate spoonbills, which are also very rare and the only wild pink bird in Florida.
Now, we mostly come on these tours because we want to see the alligators. What's the mystique?
Well, that's what people want to see, all right. I guess people in Minnesota don't see many alligators, that's why. We get an awful lot of people from the upper Midwest, and we get a lot of people from all over the world.
Over 400,000 visitors came through the park in 2014, mostly to see the alligators.
The alligators. It's a prehistoric animal.
Yeah, it is. It's been around for 200 million years.
But these animals have come close to extinction before. In the 1950s, hunting and habitat destruction left the number of American alligators in the wild at an all-time low. Through a concerted effort between the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, along with state wildlife agencies, the alligator went from critically endangered to fully recovered in 2 decades. However, the alligator's cousin, the crocodile, hasn't fared quite as well. More on that in a bit. Back on dry land, we hop in with one of the park rangers to see if we can find any more gators.
Teresa, what are we going to see here? And tell us a little bit about the park, because it is quite famous, isn't it?
Well, yes. First of all, we're one of the biggest state parks in Florida. And one of the main reasons people come to visit us here at Myakka is to see alligators. We have lots of alligators here. The best time to see alligators is during the winter months on cool, sunny days when they all like to be out in the sun basking.
You mentioned the word alligator, and I watch people's expressions, and the eyes get big, and you begin to see a little bit of fear. Obviously, they're in the wild, so anything goes.
Yes, and really, when people use good judgment and common sense, there's really no danger. Usually people are standing on the bridge looking at the alligators, or seeing them from a distance is probably the best thing, but when you're canoeing or kayaking, you're definitely going to get a much closer look at the alligators. I've worked here for 10 years and I still never get tired of seeing them, so I think they just fascinate people.
The American alligator actually belongs to the crocodile family, a species that dates back more than 200 million years, dating back to the dinosaurs.
Well, he's got some good time there.
People ask me all the time about the difference between alligators and crocodiles, but 200 million years ago, they were the same animal.
What's fascinating about them?
They're incredible. I mean, they are living fossils, is what they are.
Zookeeper Abigail McLaughlin loves reptiles.
It's great that I get to work hands-on with these reptiles, hands-on with these alligators and crocodiles. They're just fascinating.
Well, here we are, Abigail with Sergeant. I'm very cautious about this alligator. I think this is how you get a new host.
Well, don't you worry, his mouth is taped shut and he doesn't have very strong muscles to open that. So I promise you he will not be dangerous.
On this juvenile gator, while his snout is a little less intimidating, he is no less dangerous than a full-size gator.
How dangerous is a 2-footer to humans?
His jaw is very powerful still, and he still uses a lot of muscles to shut that jaw. So, and his teeth are very sharp, and they have about 74 to 82 teeth. And those teeth are hollow, but actually they are very, very powerful, their jaws, as well as very sharp teeth. So yes, it can be dangerous.
When we say powerful, we're not kidding. An alligator can exert nearly 3,000 pounds of pressure per square inch when it chomps down on its prey. By comparison, that's about 15 times more powerful than a human bite. Alligators rank 5th on the list of strongest biters. The saltwater crocodile ranked number 1. Sitting atop that mighty snout are 2 peering eyes, all the better to see their prey with.
That way he can hide in water and camouflage himself to resemble a log. And that way he can still breathe and see and submerge his entire rest of his body into that water.
Now, the eyes, as you say, are right there on top. Mm-hmm. Can he do a 360, or does he have any peripheral vision, or is it straight on?
He can't see 360, but he can see definitely. They have pretty good eyesight, so they can see a lot around them.
So
he's looking at you.
Oh, he is. He's winking. What does that mean?
Yes, he is.
Still ahead on Animal Outtakes.
Right, what kind of gator is this?
This is actually a crocodile. Yeah, her name is Lee, and she is a Siamese crocodile.
How you can determine if you're looking at an alligator or its more ferocious cousin. But first,
He's kind of rubbery, almost like a rubber toy is the way he feels.
we're getting hands-on with the mighty gators and learning more about the swamps they call home.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you can become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
I'd like you to meet my new best friend, the Kissing Bandit. This is Bling. Bling is a 10-month-old Chihuahua mix and the sweetest little girl that you would ever want. She loves to play ball. She loves to cool her paws in the pool, and she's just the best kisser. Bling is looking for a very good forever home. She had a tough beginning. She was found in a vacant apartment with no food and no water for about 3 days. And she survived. And then she came to Dante's Den, where we fattened her up a little bit and we gave her some water. And she has just thrived.
Good job.
And she is the perfect dog. She loves other dogs, she loves people, and she's just the best.
Our search for alligators led us to a local zoo. where we're getting an up-close, hands-on look at these amazing animals.
Now, the interesting thing with Sargent that I noticed when you gave him to me, and I'd be happy to hold
There we
Sargent.
go, just like that, right there.
There we go.
Perfect.
Now don't
now he's sitting comfortably on.
Now look it. This is your debut, okay? He's kind of rubbery, almost like a rubber toy is the way he feels. Is this typical?
Yes, that's very typical. He's a little dried up. He's been out of the water, so they're semi-aquatic. They spend a lot of time on land as well as in water, depending on how they want to regulate their body temperature. So right now he's a little dried up. He's been out of the water soaking up that sun.
Alligators make their home in wetlands, ranging from the Carolinas. They are prominent here in Florida.
Alligators are in lots of rivers, swamps, streams, ponds, and they are more adapted to freshwater environments, especially the Everglades, the Keys.
That's probably why so many enjoy spending time in Mayaca State Park, one of the largest state parks in Florida.
How many alligators would you say call the park home?
Well, that's hard to say.